Hi guys, this is Vic and welcome to yet another interview. And today I have an expert video marketer, expert developer with me, and we are gonna share something really valuable, something I have not done before, and I have learned so much from this, and you're gonna really love it because as a video marketer, we are all creating videos, but there's three biggest mistakes that we need to avoid as a video marketer that is ruining our conversions, that's ruining our profits, and of course that's why we create videos. We want profits. And today I have one of my great new friends, Scott, can you just say hi to our audience?
Hello. Thanks
And
for having.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving your time. And you know what, guys? We were just discussing some of the biggest mistakes that video marketers, you, me, Scott, everyone, around the globe, and those who are watching this interview right now with Scott are making, and how that's ruining the conversions. And then we're gonna give you something which is really helpful, how you can avoid those mistakes and how you can actually move ahead of your competitors in a go. So, I have Scott who will share everything. And Scott, before we start, if you could just give a little background how you actually came and got into that research point of those biggest mistakes. So can you just give us a brief journey of as a video marketer and you with videos?
Sure. As a little bit of background, I started off probably started getting most well known because as a Explaindio user, I very much would talk about it, and we've made a bunch of products. We made products on how to make slides for Explaindio, things like that. And as we did that, I found that one of my favorite video techniques and what worked the best was whiteboard videos. We found that those converted more than any other, particularly because of what we call the dopamine effect, which I'll talk about a little later. Now, as I really got into Explaindio, we found that I was making assets for them, video art and video elements and everything, and we found that we couldn't get enough done.
Right.
So we started making software instead. So my first one was Easy Animator Pro, a program that is very compatible with Explaindio. It makes SWF animations in particular that are really fast and easy to work with Explaindio, but that doesn't really leverage the whiteboard market. And so what I really started to, as I was doing, I came out with a product called Whiteboard Reboot Revolution, and it was about talking about leveraging the dopamine effect to its fullest effect. And the dopamine effect, I guess I need to take a side to talk about that. The dopamine effect is when we see a hand drawing something on the screen, it makes us feel like we're doing the drawing. And when that happens, our brain releases dopamine. It makes us feel good. And that's one reason why whiteboard videos are so popular, so why they work so well. It's because they basically make us feel good about whatever we're seeing. So if it's selling something, I'm feeling good about your product. But the problem is that the dopamine effect only works, it wears off over time. If you have a 3 to 5 minute video and you start with a dopamine effect, you're usually telling people about what's wrong, right? The problem, not the solution. So by the time you're telling them about your awesome product, the dopamine effect has worn off. And so what we needed as video marketers was things to fill in that gap, to get people to the point where we use the dopamine effect. And so we started making a variety of products. Easy Animator Pro was a little bit about that. It was about creating fast animations. And the other problem that we have, let's just talk about the first problem we have as video marketers, and that is getting our videos out at all. The most ineffective videos there are the ones that we never release, that we never get out to the market. And that's because video production can take so long. And so one of the reasons why we created Easy Animator Pro and Group Animator was that we wanted to make it faster and easier. Video should be, if I have a 12-second segment, if you think about it, when you do your videos, you write a script, you record your audio, and then you make your video to your script. And when it comes down to it, you're usually looking at your video in terms of each sentence or so.
True.
So if I say a sentence, I'm going to do a video to that sentence almost always. Sometimes a little bit, maybe a sentence and a half, but usually it's about a sentence. And so that's about a 12 to 14 second segment. And most of us, if we're using After Effects or Final Cut Pro, you start to realize you're spending up to 2 hours for a 12-second segment, which is ridiculous. And that's why it takes so long to get a video done. Even if you're using something like PowerPoint, you're usually you're editing some template and try to force it to fit your message. And that usually takes forever. Forget about even finding the template in the first place. So the problem really comes down to having to have video solutions that we can get a 8 to 12 second segment done in minutes instead of hours. Agreed. And that's a big reason why we created Easy Animator Pro and Groove Animator, so that we could get something, you isolate it down to, if you really think about it, most of the time we're trying to either have some text animation or that goes with our video, or we're going to have a graphic that goes with what we're saying, that iconizes what we're saying, or some combination thereof, right? Sometimes a video that goes with it, all that kind of stuff. Now, if you really, a good video producer breaks that apart. We don't only do video. We don't only do stock video. We don't only do text animations. We don't only do graphics. We mix it up, because it's not very interesting if it's only text animations. Right? It gets too boring too fast. So what we need are tools that allow us to embellish our videos quickly and easily. And again, that's why we created Groove Animator and Easy Animation of my intro into this than I said, and I've already kind of looked at some of the solutions, the 3 solutions that we've talked about, that I wanted to talk about. And one of them is we need to make our videos fast. We need to not linger on any one segment of our video too long, or else we're not going to get our video out. And so that is why with Easy Animator Pro and Groove Animator, we're about having, you identify what you're trying to talk about. I've got a little thing on the screen right now. I've got a little connection to it, and a little, dollar. And I might be at this point kind of trying to say that, your metrics, translate to dollars, right? I need to be able to make that video quickly and easily. And if I'm doing a whiteboard video, I need to avoid using the hand drawing it. Right. Because one of the other mistakes, the second mistake, probably the biggest mistake in my opinion in terms of whiteboard video, is using the hand drawing when and not at the right point. The right point to use the hand drawing, basically leveraging the dopamine effect, making people feel good, is at the point at which you're trying to drive home that your solution is the right solution, is the best solution. And you want them to take action. You want them to feel good right at that point. So that's when you're not wanting to use our products. You want to use a whiteboard product. You want to use, draw your solution. Maybe, spend the extra money, get a good quality graphic for your solution, and have that hand drawn. That's when you should use those awesome products. But before then, you need to get them to that point. And we need to not use that hand drawing. So that's the second most, biggest mistake I see video creators creating. And okay. I'll jump right in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so just to recap, guys, because Scott has actually discovered all this. Just to recap, the first mistake is Scott, just a brief, because I think they got mixed up at the time of interview.
Yeah. The first mistake is taking too long to make your videos. Yeah. Right?
Guys, this is something very, very crucial and important. You spend a lot of time planning, but the plans actually don't convert because you're just so mugged up and you just are fed up with the plans. You just stop the process of creating videos. So first mistake that you need to avoid is get on fast, guys. Just go have those scripts ready, and as Scott just told us, me, Scott, everyone is doing the same way. But just to recap it, you have an idea, write a script, and then you just put the script on the frames and record your sound, and then put those things on the frame, and you're done. So that is the first thing you got to do right away. Okay. Mistake number 2, Scott just told us. Just to recap.
It's the dopamine effect. Leveraging the dopamine effect at the proper. This is really whiteboard video oriented, but if you're doing whiteboard videos, you need to use the hand drawing portions. That's the key whiteboard effect. You need to use that at the right time, and the right time is when you are making your critical points. You're trying to get people to take action on your product. Right.
And now, just when you say click here, click the button below. Have you try to click that button, please do that now. You know, all those things coming up out of the videos, those are the points that you need to have those whiteboard handwritten animations going on. Other than that, please don't use handwritten again and again and again, because you're gonna ruin your conversions. Mistake number 2, please avoid those handwrittens all the time. Just use that and call to actions, right, Scott? And the
That's right.
third and the biggest.
The third, I'm not sure if it's the biggest, but I do know this. It kind of goes with what we've been saying. You don't want to spend too much time, with your asset templates. And if you think about this, when you're trying to, you're making your video, and if you have a template that has a bunch of different things on the screen, they don't know where to look. Do I look over here at this cool background? Do I look over here at this, this pretty woman? What do I look at? And so a lot of times the biggest mistake is basically giving the viewer too much to look at. If you really look at the very professional videos, the ones that people spent obviously thousands of dollars on, they're usually just an icon, a graphic. There's white backgrounds or a solid colored background. Right. There's no distractions. You know what to look at always. And so you are, and the great thing about that is if you have focused videos like that, they don't take too long to create. True. Because the more you have to put on a screen and the more you have to put on a scene, the longer it's going to take you to make that video. So we really want to focus in. And what that does is that means that we can focus in on a specific icon or a specific text or some combination thereof. And so what that means is, the mistake is we spend too much time looking for fancy templates and and things like that, and trying to force fit them to our message, because it almost never does, right? You see these really cool templates, these PowerPoint templates and everything, and they're really neat. Believe me, I'm attracted to them too. But when I get down to actually making my video, I can almost never make them fit my message. And when I do, and I watch my video, there's distracting elements. I'm just, by the time I'm deleting everything out, I'm like, I should have just started from scratch to begin with. And so really, focus your message in on just specific things that support your what you're talking about in your script, a good icon, a good text, and things like that. And one of the reasons why we created Groove Animator and Easy Animator Pro was to just be able to make focused graphics, focused animations that support your message and quickly and easily without having to, edit crazy templates and things like that. So,
Scott,
so condensing that down, focus instead of, wild templates, right?
Well, I totally agree. I mean, things are simple, people make it complex. I would put it that way. And, all of us who have actually worked, whatever has worked and gone viral, I mean, nothing was fancy enough. I've not seen anything. I created a whiteboard presentation with simple text on it. It got over 6,000 views in less than 4 hours. I just uploaded that on Facebook, and it did that. I hardly spent, I guess, almost like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, just like the time that I took to paste the text. That's it. Nothing at all. And it was like, because of the content that was there inside it, it was so helpful. It was so good that everyone on my fan page, my other group members, they were just wanting to read it, and the overall video went viral. So guys, it's always good to keep things simple. And Scott, I would just request you, you're using that with Groove Animator, the software that we have it opened here. How can we actually do this in a simple way? I see some animations going here. How this can help our audience, and if they take the right action today.
Sure. Now, what we did with Groove Animator was, again, what we sort of started where whiteboard programs leave off. Whiteboard programs pretty much have a hand drawing a single color line, and what we wanted to do was provide we have the dash drawing, we have multicolor drawing, and the idea is that you can have things that go with. They feel natural, like they go with a whiteboard video, because they've got lines and and so forth. But they're also a little different. In this particular simple example, I've done something where I've got a multicolor. I probably wouldn't do it exactly like this. I would probably make it a little more tight. Like I might take this one and actually make it also multicolor. So let's go up here and do that real quick. I would, I wouldn't have three different color situations going on my screen.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I would do something like this. And in this particular example, I might be, again, trying to say, hey, look, your metrics might, have a relationship with your profits or something like that. And, I can do a quick and easy illustration. And here's the kind of the thing. I can quickly look for a graphic like this. I can, I do a connector like that with dash lines, and
Okay.
then have an iconic image. And really, this portrays a couple of things. First of all, it's engaging because it's the kind of thing we don't see a lot of. There's not a lot of a lot of animations that are like this because this effect is not as prevalent as whiteboard videos. But also, I'm going to go ahead and I've made that a little bit. I can adjust this a little bit. So let's get this down here so it's fits a little bit better. But I can come up with something like this very quickly and easily because I just go into the icons and look around. Or if I'm doing something new and I'm looking on the internet, that we can find SVG images are all over the place, right? So this, especially whiteboard-based SVG images. So these are stroke-based images, and I just go in and apply a line animation to them, very similar to how whiteboard video is so quick and easy.
Agreed.
But the idea is that it's icons and text. As I can also do, so let's go ahead and I'm going to remove this and let's do a different example here.
Can we show them the text animation, a little window?
Yeah, that's
Because
exactly what I was just going to do. So
I
yeah, so I might, same thing. I might want to do, let's do something. I like this font down here a little bit better. So let's say I'm going to do, profits. So I don't know, I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about my profits or something.
Yeah.
Or how you make profits. And so I can do the same thing. I can have a text animation. Let's do a different color so it's a little bit more interesting. Let's do drawing out this time. And I'll make it last a little longer.
Okay.
And let's get a nice color palette in there. Let's do something different. How about that?
Yes.
See, we have some shortcuts to select multicolors at once. And then I'll just go ahead and apply that animation. And this is drawing in the text and everything.
This is beautiful.
So very, very simple. It's very. If you look at it, there's a whiteboard. They'll draw on a line very similar to that, right? They'll draw on the text. This is just a similar kind of effect without it being the hand drawing. So I'm not squandering my dopamine effect yet, but I still have a nice, very engaging, animation quickly and easily with text. And so these are the sorts of things that we wanted to do with Groove Animator to support. And as you can see, this doesn't have to go with whiteboard videos. This would go very well with any type of video.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is you've termed it wrong. It's not just a whiteboard animation.
Right. Exactly. Well,
So
we didn't.
if I just add an image there with this, so how would it look like if you can just show
Let's
add?
do something here. I've got too many categories here. There we go.
Oh yeah, I see a long list. Wow.
Let's do something like
How
that.
how many images do you have inside it?
It comes with over 1,000 in the front end, and then there's an upsell for 2,000 more, and then we're actually adding 1,000 more into the upsell over this first month here. So.
Oh wow, lovely.
And the users are. We have a Facebook group, and the users are able to help us decide what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and I think with money we want it to be green.
Yes.
So let's. Actually, that's not. Let's do dollars to make it green. So let's delete that. There we go. That's a little bit better fit. And so, not that we couldn't have done kind of gold for the gold, but
yeah.
And do that as well. And I just did a keyboard shortcut that time, and I'm just kind of closing that so I can see everything. Let's get this out of the way too. And after a little bit of tweaking, I can have my animation that really kind of, quickly and easily. Once again, I'm always saying quickly and easily because that's the key to getting your video done. I like to say it over and over again. The most, most worthless videos are the ones we never finish.
Yeah,
and get out.
Right. Yes, right. And we can adjust the timeline from where the gold would start and from where the profits would start. We can have those settings here.
And I can also do something like this. I can stagger them in. And so it comes in a little later.
Yeah.
Trying to get a hold of it. Pause that there. And, so yeah, I can have it come in a little later and things like that. So, and there's another some very cool things here that we can do as well. I'll take this and I'll add a little empty thing over here, and you can see that we don't. It's not just about the stroke animations. We have a lot more. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a fade out. I'm gonna turn that on, and I'm gonna apply that. Oops, I always hit the wrong keyboard shortcut. I don't want to search on my computer. And so you see here, one of the things that I always did zoom out by accident, but see that I can overlap another one and have it going on at the same time.
Okay.
So if you can see here that it was still drawing out, and I had it zoom out at the same time. So, and I can adjust that however I want. So the point is that I can get more elaborate effects by adding additional effects, from the timeline over there. So we really wanted to make it very versatile, so that you're not just stuck. You know how in whiteboard video, like I said, one of the things I really don't like about whiteboard programs is the hand drawing the thing in is pretty much all we get. At most we get to change the color. Right. So with Groove Animator, we wanted to give a lot of variety of possibilities.
So once we are done with one slide, and if I have to add the other slide, how do we do that?
Well, this is you have to look at Groove Animator like a plugin.
Okay.
So it's a little, you create a video, you export it, you add it to your other videos, and so forth. So, it's really not designed to be a full video creator. It's more designed to be a video creator, like I said, in that 12 to 15 second kinds of videos. So you're going to want to composite your videos with other programs. So, and most of my Easy Animator Pro is the same way. They're about creating the quick and easy segments that you then composite with the programs you already have, like Camtasia, ScreenFlow, and so forth.
I agree. That makes sense. So basically, this is designed to create slides like the ones we see, guys. So this is something which will help you out to actually create some great intros, outros, segments. Those are very important to get the eyeballs. And as we already discussed, if you just use the handwritten text all the time or handwritten graphics all the time, it just takes out all the attention. So instead we have these kind of crazy looking cool animated slides there, and then we have those call to action with the handwrittens, and you can just use these slides wherever you want in whatever software that you own. And so you can actually do that. And so this is a complete package, as Scott told us. So what exactly do people get once they take Groove Animator?
Yeah, Groove Animator is an app, PC and Mac based app. It does come with 1,000 images and a bunch of different fonts. Also, we are